Susan Gomberg, is that you?
Yes, it is.
Hi.
Hi.
So
Good
far,
afternoon. Good afternoon.
good afternoon. Yes.
Yes.
All right, Sue and I. Oh, here's Joanne.
Hello.
Hi, Joanne.
Hi.
So good to see you.
Good to see you too. Let me get situated here.
Yeah, take your time because
Okay.
Susan Gomberg is here and you and
Hi,
I.
Joanne. It's Susan.
Hi, Susan. Nice to hear your voice.
I'm so glad you're back with us. It's
Oh,
wonderful.
me too. Me too.
Yeah, we don't know. It took a while for me to get Zoom working. Well, it just took time. So,
Hmm.
um,
Yeah, I had to have, we are in Cambridge with friends, and I had to have all the guys come up and hook my computer up to their system and, get passwords and all kinds of stuff going on. So here we are.
here we are. Yeah, yeah.
Linda,
So
I had trouble getting on today also. It
did
just
you?
was different.
Hmm.
Yeah, but eventually it came through.
Yeah, it just it may be because I just had the circle going around and around and around.
That damn circle.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So okay, here comes Susan. Let's see, wait a minute. Okay. We're being very careful with watching the waiting room because in a recent select board meeting was Zoom bombed.
Was what?
Zoom bombed.
What does that mean?
It means that uh, there were participants who were making inappropriate statements. They were removed from the meeting and then they found a way to hack into other participants and use their accounts to continue there.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're being very careful. So anyway, we only have we just have us.
Okay.
So far it's just us. So
Hey, Janice. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Susan Millinger.
you got to unmute yourself, Susan.
And I was unmuted. Sorry, Joanne. It's so nice to see you again.
Yeah, great to see you guys all.
Yeah.
And hear from Susan Gomberg. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. Hi, Susan and Janice.
Hello. This is Janice saying hello.
This is Susan saying hello. The problem that I can't find the reading glasses I need to see on the computer, but I can still see to write.
Well, we'll wait for you.
Well, it's okay unless you're going to show text. I'm fine.
Well, we might.
Mhm.
Well,
You
not
might.
text, but I don't know if we're, when we get to the website thing, which we could always table again, we might be wanting to look at the website. I know someone doing a screen share or something. I don't know.
Right.
Okay. Well, I think if since I have no idea where they are, I think I would wait to look for them
Okay.
if the emergency appears. Sorry.
Makes sense.
All right. So, Joanne, shall I go ahead and get the ball rolling?
If you would please go ahead and lead, because I'm still a little foggy in the brain.
Sure. Okay. All right. So let's call the meeting to order at 5:34 p.m. And I'm Linda Ava Scott, present.
Joanne Bernhard, present.
Susan Gomberg, present.
Janice Gray, present.
Susan Millinger, present.
Okay, excellent. So, all right, so the first order of business is to consider two sets of minutes August 11 by Susan Millinger, and which she just sent around a short while ago.
And then she just sent a second version, and I don't know if everyone even saw that.
Yeah, the second version has 3 changes suggested by Linda.
And I haven't had a chance to look at them.
They were just
Okay,
typo kinds of.
yeah, I saw some too. Okay, well, I'll look at that one then, and not the one I printed out.
Yeah, they were
I'd Be happy to,
typos. So the content is the same. It just didn't, really didn't say, change anything. It was just, yep, that's all typo kind of stuff.
Yeah, I caught some too, and yeah, okay, I see one of them has been caught.
So those are just friendly amendments, so
Yeah.
we can, if I don't know if everyone is, well, I guess Joanne wouldn't be able to actually vote on these.
I have got one other typo that was not caught.
which is,
Okay, it's the end of a quotation. Are we at that point to talk about this, or should I wait?
No, go ahead. We should actually make a motion. So if someone would move to approve and second, then we can have a discussion about any corrections.
Ah. So this is the one for the August 11th.
Yes.
This is Gomberg, I move we approve the minutes for August 2nd,
11.
7th, August 7th.
11. 1-1.
For the August minutes.
Okay.
Well done.
I'll second the motion. So Janice, do you want to just?
So what I caught, let me just find it here. It's on the second page. There's a beginning of a quotation for a motion, and the end quotation marks are not there.
right, so it should be at the 3rd paragraph up from the bottom, at the end of the paragraph after spokesperson. would
Correct.
be the quotation mark. Thank you for catching that,
And then
Janice.
there's a second one, actually. The next paragraph, the last sentence should be Millinger is to ask Scott for suggestions on the draft.
Right.
No, so those are the 2 that I saw, in addition to one that Linda caught.
Linda caught 3.
Oh, then there's more that I didn't catch. Woo.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look for the corrected ones eventually.
I really didn't expect you all to want to deal with these minutes because I got them to you with such short notice.
Well, thank
And
you.
obviously not much notice for revision.
Thank
So
you.
it's, obviously your choice whether to deal with them today or not.
Let's see. Susan Gomberg, are you
Yes.
good to vote?
I'm good to vote.
Okay, so we've got a quorum to vote. So we'll do a roll call vote in our usual alphabetical order format.
Is Joanne not voting?
I'm sorry,
again?
I haven't seen.
Okay,
Right. And you
I
weren't-
couldn't open the last minutes.
So you would
Okay.
be able to vote, you would just say abstain.
I will abstain. Yeah.
You weren't at the
Done.
meeting,
That's
right?
Right.
Right.
Gomberg votes aye to accept.
Gray votes aye.
Millinger votes aye.
Scott, aye. All set, Susan M., you ready?
Yep. Thank you very much.
All right, so now we have the September 8th minutes by Janice. And do we have a motion to approve?
Motion so moved. Millinger, so moved.
Gomberg, I second that.
Okay, anything? Janice did send them out and then sent them again with revisions. So any discussion?
No, I just want to thank Janice again for taking care of the minutes, especially since she was feeling crappy that night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Janice. Okay, so roll call vote.
Gomberg, I vote, sorry,
No, I just have to
Bernhardt.
abstain again. Yeah.
Okay, Gomberg, I vote to accept. I vote aye.
Janice, I.
Millinger, I.
Scott, aye.
So as business, so what I need to do then is somehow delete the word draft that's
Yep.
behind there and get them to Susan Millinger, or do I send them to Grace? Or what do I do?
What you would do is you send them to both Susan as our secretary and PDF it to Grace
Okay,
and then she'll post it to our webpage.
okay, thank you.
Yeah,
You-
thanks.
You just type in remove watermark at that section that says, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? If you have one of those on your computer.
I don't know that I do. I'll have to look.
Well, you can always send them to me and I'll make the change.
Okay, I know
There we go.
I managed to do it once, but it was a different computer and we'll see.
Okay. And then Susan, then that will be good because then Susan can PDF both of them to Grace
Oh,
if you want, Susan M.
did you catch that, Susan Millinger?
Sure.
So I'm deleting, sending it to Grace.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
yeah.
just, yeah,
to
that way,
Susan. Okay,
that'll make it more straightforward for Grace getting.
Yep.
Getting.
okay, all right,
Susan.
so that's done.
Okay, so, financial update. Okay, notes. Okay. All right. At the last meeting, our balance, as best as we can tell, the balance in our FY 21 grant is $2,256.61. In the between our last meeting and today, we expended $230 for MCOA dues, $500 to village neighbors, and $170 for foot care by nurses, which leaves a balance, approximate balance of $1,356.61. Say when you're ready, Susan.
I'm ready.
Okay, so that's our financial update. And so I know that the next item on the agenda is the foot care program, and Susan Gomberg has some things to share. But I wondered if everybody's okay, since we're on finances, if we might take up the library request next, since we're on finances.
Ray thinks that makes sense. I was already thinking about that.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
All right. Okay, so as you know,
Oh,
Mary Ann has requested that she has asked if we would like to fund 10 weeks of yoga with Kathy Sward from November 4th through the end of January for a total of $650. In addition, she wonders if we would like to sponsor or co-sponsor the Zumba classes on Fridays. The total for this series is $700. So in other words, she's asking us if we would like to fund the total for Kathy Sward's classes, which is $650. And then with Zumba, it's either, $700 or a part of.
And those classes, excuse me, were on Friday, is that correct?
Zumba is on Friday, yes.
Right, thank you. We don't have a day for Kathy's classes,
No,
do
we
we?
don't.
November 4th, it would be Thursdays.
Oh,
Oh.
thank you,
Yeah, she didn't say so explicitly, but
She
yeah.
didn't, but
thank you.
I happen to know that since election day is the second.
Well, then that would be Mondays. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Not November. Did I say right, December? I wrote November 1st, that can't be right.
November 4th is a Thursday.
I think
Okay,
you're looking at the October calendar.
I guess so. No, I don't know. I just wrote down 1 instead of 4. Sorry, got that.
Okay, Okay, all right. So there we are. Thoughts? We could make a motion that we can just talk for a few minutes if you want, and see what you're thinking.
Well, I'm ready to make a motion if you want me to.
Sure, yeah. Let's
I'd
do
like to,
one at a
I'd
time.
like to move that we support Kathy Sward's classes, and I will tell you why. Because I find them,
Not in your motion.
okay,
You would
I have to
make-
have a second.
Make a full motion though, including the dollar amount, if you would, Susan.
Okay, I move that COA fund at the library's request yoga classes with Kathy Sward for a total of $650.
Second,
Yep.
okay, discussion.
Mrs. Gomberg, I think that's a very good idea.
Susan Millinger, did you had thought?
Yeah,
a thought?
Millinger, I have an attestation. I really like Jeanette a lot, but Kathy's classes are so much more helpful to me personally.
Is there a
It-
difference between Jeanette's quote, gentle yoga? I think that's how it's couched, right? Looking up the, Linda and I have been going back and looking up the bills and the, titles of things, and it says gentle yoga with Jeanette, and it just says yoga with Kathy, I think. I'm not sure.
Kathy didn't charge for any of her
Oh, that's
classes,
right. Yeah,
so that's why we don't have her listed.
Right. okay.
Yeah.
And I haven't had yoga with either instructor.
Classes,
Well,
Millinger,
go ahead.
Kathy's approach is the approaches are very different. Kathy's approach is approach of somebody with a PhD in exercise physiology. She finds out at the beginning of the class what people's problems are that week, and she picks things that specifically address those problems. And she teaches us things that are generally helpful, like dealing with stiff necks, which a lot of us have. So that there are things that we can easily take from one class to another. And she does some basic leg exercises, which she says, are really important for everybody to do. So it's just, Jeanette does a lot of traditional yoga, and she has an interesting approach, but she does not have the background, the understanding, and she'll acknowledge that Kathy has in what your body should and shouldn't do, and what's helpful for it and should be avoided.
Yeah, so for example, because Kathy knows some participants from in-person classes, she does know what people might not do.
Mhm.
And, so it's a different, like Susan Millinger said, it's more of a therapeutic approach. Whereas with Jeanette, you have to, know yourself and know what you can't do. And it's just two different ways of approaching yoga, and one with a much more of a background, educational background.
And this is Janice speaking, having taken Kathy's classes before. I think she even used to call it therapeutic yoga.
Yes, she did.
Mhm.
Yes, she did. Actually, the in-person classes were called
Yeah.
therapeutic yoga.
Mhm. Mhm.
And she would say, just as an example, Janice, you should not do this part, because she knew I was recovering from surgery or something like that way back. So,
Right.
Susan Gumberg?
Yes.
I'm just listening. I haven't taken any of the classes, but I know people speak very highly of the yoga class. I guess I didn't know. I don't know how to judge the classes at all, but I know the classes, plural, are spoken highly of.
Yes. Agreed.
Well, I think that the issue now is Kathy Sward's yoga class. And that is a request from the library, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So we haven't been asked to fund Jeanette's class.
We had, oh dear.
Since last,
I don't think we
year.
have made any payments for Jeanette
right,
since the end of the fiscal year.
yeah.
If I am remembering this correctly. Oh,
This is Gomberg again. I only mentioned both because it had been brought up prior.
Yeah.
I do know that we're just discussing one of the classes.
yeah, and hang on just for.
Well, oh, that was a, yeah.
So it's not a question of funding one over another. It's just a
No.
question of
Correct.
funding Kathy Swart's class right now.
Right.
At this
But
point.
in case people were thinking that one yoga class is enough to support, that's why I was attesting to the value of Kathy's classes.
Okay,
I don't mean to replace Jeanette, because I know there are plenty of people who are satisfied with Jeanette.
right.
But I leave Jeanette's classes, I've quit going because I leave Jeanette's classes with a sore back.
Okay, so we want to just.
That should be feedback for Mary Ann when she does her feedback surveys.
Yes, and please just
Yeah, you
remember
were-
we're recording. You know, okay, so are folks feeling ready to vote?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right, so
Okay.
let's roll call vote.
Okay, Bernhard, aye.
Gomberg, aye.
Gray, aye.
Illinger, aye.
And Scott, aye. Okay, and so now we have the inquiry to sponsor or co-sponsor Zumba classes on Fridays. Total cost for the series is $700.
How many sessions?
That,
Hey.
hmm. Um, hmm.
Her email doesn't say, this is Janice.
No, I know. If you want to just give me a moment, I can look back and see. We have a prior,
Ah,
we have a prior. I am so trying to keep track of all this. They're $50 a class.
So that would be 14 classes?
Mhm.
Mhm.
$50 a class, so 14. Yep.
Okay. I have, as a side note, I have been in touch with Mary Ann about numbers, which pertains to the grant, but I don't yet have the numbers specifically for the Zumba classes, Kathy Swart's classes, and Jeanette's classes from last year. I haven't had the number of participants yet.
Yeah, I don't think we had Zumba Gold. Did we?
We did in spring.
Oh, that's right. Spring. Sorry,
Yeah.
we did spring. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Well,
do we need a motion before we talk about it?
yes, please.
This is Gomberg. I move that we discuss the Zumba Gold funding for $700.
We can't say discuss in a motion.
That we vote, how shall I say it?
Move to support or move to,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so I move that we support Zumba Gold classes for $700.
Okay. Second, Bernhard seconds.
Okay, so now let's discuss.
Okay, so number one, as from Linda's financial report, if we do Kathy Swartz and Zumba's, that takes up all the money that we have remaining. Right, 650 and 700 is about all the money we have remaining.
That's 1350, right, which you're right. Yep,
Yeah,
Yep.
we don't know yet. I've been monitoring the MCOA website. We haven't yet had any information at all on the grants for next year. Again, there are a lot of things that go into this, but basically we have no information. It could be the same. It should be the same. It may not be the same. We don't know. Is there a way to fund part of it until we know? Or
Well, I can tell you that we can, because we know we're going to get, we know we're going to receive a grant.
Mhm.
We can, if we can go into that grant now,
Right.
even though we don't have the dollars, we
Mhm.
can act as if we have the dollars.
Right, but we just don't know how much it's going to be.
Correct. And we know that we're already in September.
Right.
So we would have 9 months left.
Mhm.
We receive our dollars. We still would, we'd have nine months. Just, saying that we've already gone
Right.
3 months into FY22 with our current last year's grant.
Mhm.
And if we, how it worked in the past, and we don't know if it will work this way, but in the past, whatever balance we had remaining would be subtracted from the.
Mhm. So last year, for the first time, they did not do that.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. So everybody in the small town categories, which we are in, just got $6,000 across the board. That was the lowest amount that all of the small towns got. That was dependent on the number of elders according to the census. If our census numbers turned out to be significantly different, there may be actually more coming. Or if the numbers turned out to be less, it would be the same amount as last year. It doesn't go below $6,000.
I think most likely we will receive that flat fee.
Right, right. There was some talk of, I think the $6,000 was predicated on $12 per elder in the town, according to the census. We may pick up a few more people in the in the elderly lot because the population has been aging. Of course, that depends on whether we got the census numbers back, which maybe there's a percentage that we got back, Linda, that you know of. I don't know.
I don't know, but we never, as far as I know, we've always received a flat fee, which the flat fee is not based on per capita. It's just a flat fee.
Right. Yeah.
And we would probably have to have a really significant change in population.
Right.
Yeah.
So we probably, and I don't know if the Commonwealth budget has had any effect on this, and there's no information forthcoming at this point that I can find.
The only thing I believe that I saw somewhere on MCOA discussions, that it would be the 6,000, but I don't know if it's going to be 6,000 minus or 6,000 flat. But anyway, we know we'll be receiving money. Susan Millinger?
I'm just going to say, I think it's the usual problem of they're still discussing the budget.
Right.
So we won't be able to officially get our money until they've officially finalize the budget,
Mhm.
Right. So.
which is often late.
Yeah, and this is where we, we usually are, and we usually act as if.
Mhm.
And the fact is that we are, here we are. I mean, we're as I wanted to say, we're in September, and October, excuse me, we're in October, and we're still spending last year's money. And so do you follow me? Because
Yes, except that we don't know whether we're going to be able to open up any other programs after the turn of the year. We don't know that whether we can, open up the MedRide program, or whether we can do anything else because of the whole COVID situation.
right.
So if we go according to what we did last year, which is nobody did anything except support these programs that are on Zoom, which have been very, very, very helpful to people in this pandemic state, I know. I would like to support this program. I know this was mostly attended by elders.
Yep.
And I personally did some of it and found it very helpful, from an elderly point of view. But I think it would be a good thing to keep doing, and then we can adjust. I don't think any of the grant money comes in till January, February anyway, so we'll have to adjust at that point. But this does take us down to the bottom of what we have now.
Right, we can still spend money.
We can still spend money.
We
Okay.
can still spend money, even if
Yeah.
we've exhausted last year's, we can still act as if.
Okay. Okay.
And
So yeah. So I would say this is a worthwhile thing.
and we can do part. Susie Millinger.
Well, I just wanted to point out that not only are we still spending the money from fiscal 21, we're spending right now on significant expenses for programs through January of 22.
Right,
So we're really ahead of the game.
right, exactly. I guess that's a great way to put it. I was trying to get that, but I didn't use the term ahead of the game.
Right. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really the point where, we're so, and I can say that the instructor is excellent and well worth
Yeah.
$50 a class. She's prepared.
Mhm.
She is dynamic. She changes the class, changes the class, introduces new music, new steps. So it's a very a worthwhile program.
Mhm. I agree. Yeah.
So, anybody else have any thoughts on whether it's the full amount or a portion?
Domberg has no thoughts.
And the motion at the moment is for the full amount.
Yes, it is. Yep.
We'd have to change something.
Yep. I just want to be sure that everybody's heard and had their thoughts, and we don't, Mary Ann asked sponsor or co-sponsor. So if anyone would like to amend the motion, you can. It's really, not to prolong it. I just want to be sure that, we're good.
Well, this is kind of a stray thought, this is Millinger, but if we pay all of it, Marianne will have money that she can pay for another program and not ask us to pay for another program, if you know what I mean.
Well, a lot of the money for these things come from grants.
Yes, but she also has asked us for you know, she's asked us for other programs, Jeanette's program and also the program, the strength training program, and she may very well ask us to contribute to those in the future.
Right.
And Janice adds other things too, like the museum passes,
Yes,
so forth. So it's not just fitness.
yes, that's true. Yep.
I think the museum passes was kind of an end of the year kind of thing. Because didn't that come in right at the end of
Yep.
of the fiscal year?
Yep, yes,
Yeah.
so even though, right, we're spending FY21 funds, we're in FY22, so these are FY22 expenses.
Mhm,
So shall we vote?
mhm. Yes. Bernhard,
Okay.
yes, yeah.
Roll call, here we go.
Bernhard, I, 700.
Gomberg, I, 700.
Janice, but I don't know if we have to say the 700,
No,
but
you don't, no,
Yeah,
because that's the motion on the table.
Millinger, aye.
Scott, aye.
Okay.
Okay, so I will email Marianne and let her know. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we are ready for Susan Gomberg and the Foot Care Program.
I would like to bring up once again the possibility of the foot clinic going back to the town hall. And I'll tell you why. I had an appointment with Sue Miller, and we all know, we've discussed how she really wants to go back to the town hall. I asked her about the people she saw. She said she tends to see the same 4 to 5 people, every other month. And I asked her about some of the others who came regularly to the town hall clinic, and she has not seen them. So it occurred to me that, why are those people not calling for appointments, not being seen by the foot care nurse? She said a lot of times people don't want a nurse in their house, or people's family, someone in their house does not want to have the nurse coming into their space. Maybe they have a big dog that they're worried about. So then I started thinking, well, could we best serve the seniors that we used to serve by going back to the town hall? As Sue said, we always had, for the most part, 8 people, on an every other month basis with a waiting list. Now, it's true, one very regular person was the Amherst woman, who's no longer a consideration. But we did have many more than 4 to 5 each month. So when Linda and I went to the Board of Health, they basically had, they weren't excited about how we would conduct the clinic. And we ultimately decided not to because of the Delta variant kind of surging at that point. I do know that the COVID is still out there, whether Delta is surging or not. Should the clinic open in the town hall, it would be masks and social distancing. Sue cleans her instruments. I would take care of doorknobs, things like that. I think we could maintain a clean environment. If Grace still has stuff in the room, that would have to be dealt with. So the more I thought about this, I thought it was a good idea, as if I think it would require checking in with the Board of Health to see if their ideas have changed at all, because I believe at some point there was going to be a start for hybrid town meetings, and then that kind of backed off. To check with people in the, previous foot care community, I thought I could, do some kind of a blanket email, like, would you want to go back to the town hall? This is what it would require. And then I started getting lost with, well, some are going to want, some aren't going to want to go back. So what do we do with that? Do we, go by what the majority wants? So basically, I kind of turned myself into a knot about the whole discussion on whether or not, I guess I'm back to where I don't know. Should we try to go back to serve more people? Because I know there's one woman in particular, when we started the home visits, I made, I think, 3 phone calls reminding her of the option to come, have a nurse come to the house and, being very specific about, the money involved. She's somebody I know well. Our kids were in school together, and she had very definite foot care needs, but as far as I know, she has not been seen at all. And she was somebody who would come to the town hall. So how do we best serve Shutesbury seniors? And as I said, I'm back to I just don't know. End of story.
Wow.
Thank you, Susan, very
Yeah.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate all the thought that you've put into that.
Yes.
Thank you, Janice.
Yes, definitely. This is Millinger. And,
Thank you.
it's really important to know, to get the input of Sue Miller in this way. I mean, I
Right.
haven't known that was one of her concerns, the number of people
Yeah.
she's not serving.
Right. I think because she and I used to chat when we met at the town hall. When I see her, we chat about this, that, and the other thing, and we had more of an in-depth conversation about who she was seeing, and that's when it occurred to me that a lot of people aren't getting seen. And then
This
on
is
top of
Linda.
all this is the new pricing structure that Foot Care by Nurses wants.
Mhm.
Right. So, So this is Linda, and I really do appreciate Susan Gomberg, your, thoroughness in your report. And a couple of things that occur to me are, one, as far as I know, at this point, all meetings continue to be virtual.
Mhm.
And that in addition to consulting with the Board of Health, it would be a select board decision whether to allow the foot clinic. Because we're doing virtual meetings. This
Right.
would be a significant change. The room is pretty good. There's still, a lot of equipment in there, but it's pretty good space-wise. But and as Susan Gomberg said, there is going to be a change. It will be more costly for us to open up to do in person in town hall, based on the Foot Care by Nurses structure. I like the idea of polling people just to get a sense of where people are at, because yes, there are people who haven't had Sue come into her home, but we do not know if those people would indeed come to town hall.
Correct. Right.
We don't know. So either email or phone calling the, folks would give us a sense of where where there may be any unmet need. And we are going to have, the newsletter is going to be in our boxes. If they didn't come today, then tomorrow, with more information about the Foot Care Clinic, encouraging people to call. So that's my input at this point.
And this is Gomberg again, and as you're talking, it occurs to me at this point that what I can do, I have emails and phone numbers, is I can just get a hold of everybody and see how they're doing, and do they want the nurse to come, and work into the conversation. We're probably not ready to go back to the town hall yet. What would it take? How do they feel about that?
Right, and maybe go ahead.
I was just going to say, do a blanket email to everyone, or just contact the people individually. Some would have to be individual because they don't have computers.
I think-
or cell phones.
Depending on your energy, it seems like, you know, contacting people, if, either email or phone, one, individually, so that you're going to have as much, information. And if they had a concern about a home visit, you would be able to speak to that,
Right.
what it's like. I don't know. Anybody else thoughts?
Yeah, this is Joanne. I think individual contacts would be great because in a conversation, you might actually get better information from people than an email where people may answer speedily or answer not at all.
Right.
You know.
I have plenty of time. I'm retired, so I can do that, and I'd feel good about doing that. Contacting everyone. I think I will do it by phone call.
Mm.
I think that's a good idea. This is Joanne. Yeah. Yeah. So where are we now in the process of things?
We had voted to continue the home visit program indefinitely. And that's what For Care by Nurses knows. We had also made a plan to talk about where we were at in October, which is why Susan G has done such a great job of presenting the situation. Janice and Susan M, any thoughts?
Well, Janice just wants to say that the idea of polling the people is a very important one, I think.
Mhm.
It's just because it's similar. It's like what my church is doing has been doing the same thing, trying to figure out whether we're going to have hybrid services or not, and blah 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 blah. And they spend a lot of time getting people to, think about what are they comfortable with,
Mhm.
and collecting information, which I think could be useful in a lot of ways. I just thought of that, and maybe I'm wrong, but
Mhm.
for one particular population anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Millinger, because I'm one of the clients who's having Sue Miller come at home, I would be on the list to be called, and I would have to think about, I'm content with Sue coming to my home. I still worry about the relatively low number of vaccinated seniors in our town. That
Mhm.
worries me a little bit. So I would appreciate I would appreciate the phone call so I could really think about it and talk to Sue about it.
Mhm.
And I can say
I
that,
will. You're on my list, Susan M.
Thank you, Sue.
and for myself, I used to go, but I've learned so much that I can take care of my feet myself now.
Mhm.
So Linda, I won't call you, right?
Right, but you can call me if you want to put it on your poll list, and
Okay. Okay, I will.
now you can record it in your
Right. Sure.
your research.
Okie doke.
So thank you ever so much, Susan, really, for
Thank you,
holding
everybody.
forward.
I appreciate the feedback. Thank you.
Okay, so we actually have survey next steps and grant application next step, but again, I'd like to make a change if everybody's okay. I'd like to put age-friendly communities next because just in the interest of time, I know that Susan Millinger has some things to share, and it is relative to the survey.
Yes, I think that the select board approved Shutesbury applying to join the North Franklin Quabbin Age and Dementia Friendly Communities. And I've talked to Nor about coming to a meeting, and with Linda, we decided that the only Wednesday we had free was the 1st of November. It is the 1st, I think.
November 3rd.
Okay, the first Wednesday in November, which is the 3rd. And Nor's very happy to come then and is saving the time.
Mhm.
It's the process is going to be, the procedures is a lot easier, simpler than I thought. From it just recently, it seems to have gotten easier. Initially, they talked about an application that the select board had to fill out, and we don't need to worry about an application any longer. All they ask from the select board is this letter of commitment, which Linda has sent to Nora, and she put a notice about that on our we all got the notice, I think today or yesterday.
I just CC'd you, Susan, as the,
Okay.
as, you know, as the, our contact person.
The contact. Okay, so everybody knows now about the November 3rd special meeting.
No, yeah, so you can, right, explain about that, what's gonna happen.
So Nora will be speaking to us and answering our questions about what will be involved. And I don't, there's the more than I should say than that.
He's gonna talk to us about a needs assessment
Mhm.
and listening sessions.
Okay,
Those are the two, that's why, in addition to, you know, sharing about the program, he's going to go into more about what is next. And that
Yes.
are those two things, the needs assessment and listening sessions, which is why when Joanne and I talked, it seemed to make sense to set aside a special meeting on November 3rd at 5:30, so that that's our sole topic. And we'll feel, you know, we won't feel pressured by other agenda items, and we can listen to Nor and ask questions. And we also, the needs assessment piece could be, you know, could dovetail with our survey. So that's the other piece that we're keen about. I'm keen about learning what's involved.
Yeah, I checked with him to see how soon we'd be considered able to be involved in the needs assessment. And my understanding, if I recall correctly at this point, was as soon as he got the letter of commitment from the select board, we would be basically, although we wouldn't be officially members yet, we would be considered members and we would be able to participate, which would be really helpful.
Yes, so Nor acknowledged, let me just get, hang on just for a moment, I'll tell you what he said when he wrote back to me today after I sent the letter to him. And he said, "Thank you very much. I will be in touch with the COA and will keep you updated on when Shutesbury officially joins the age-friendly networks." So, and of course, we know he's coming on the 3rd.
One other last point I want to make for some of you, because both Joanne and Janice have been at earlier meetings on the program. And one of the other things that has changed is in the early discussions, we were expecting that every town would have a committee that would be focused on the community. And it would have a wide membership of people from the select board and the COA and town businesses, so the different aspects of town life. That is no longer required because we can participate in the existing committee, which is drawn from all the towns. So there's in some senses, there's a lot easier involvement for us, because we don't have to beat the bushes to find other people to come on the committee. I mean, the slightly downside right now is that we're it in terms of his contacts and in terms of organizing whatever it is that needs to be organized. And in thinking about this, I wanted to suggest to you that we might consider reaching out to somebody, we've got spaces in COA for more members, or at least two, I think, one or two.
We have one vacancy, and then we have Melissa, and
Or
she
one
hasn't
vacancy.
come in a very, very, very long time.
Yeah, but we keep her on the list for sort of historic, traditional reasons.
Well,
Isn't there supposed to be a member of an elected member, town official on the,
Nope.
no?
Nope,
Okay.
we have no requirement like that. No,
Okay.
we're not that type of a committee, so it's not required. But you know, if it were anyone else, they'd be asked to resign.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just
Well,
to-
we do have at least one position open.
Yep.
And I was thinking, there are a whole bunch of Shutesbury people that are involved in Village Neighbors. And especially there are a number who are involved at the organizational level, not just as members, but as active organizer.
Mhm.
And it might be something to think about asking a couple of them to see if one of them would be interested in joining us and involving Village Neighbors, Shutesbury Village Neighbors, to help with the whatever organization we have to do. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes, I mean, yes, it would be great if there were someone from Village Neighbors that wanted to be on, a member of the council, because that's what they would be, a member of the council. They wouldn't be representing Village Neighbors to our council. That wouldn't be, that's not how we're formed. And we, again, when the newsletter comes out, there will be, the vacancy will be, in the newsletter. So, but yeah, we do have one, and it would be good to know Melissa's thoughts.
Mhm. So with the age and dementia friendly, does that have to go through COA? I mean, how is the town approached? I'm sorry, my mind is splitting and going into 5 different directions at one time here. Village Neighbors, it seems to me, is positioned to be helping older people. And so there's really a good reason to involve them in this whole endeavor.
Mhm.
One thing would be to ask them to join us in the meeting with Noor on, to ask the who are the heads of Village Neighbors, I'm not sure, to just hear the whole thing and see if there were people who wanted to be involved. Now, I'm not sure what, I'm kind of confused on how the level of involvement goes. You know what I mean, Susan M?
Well,
I'd like to
I
hear
think
from-
that's what we're going to find out from Noor. But so far, to this
Right.
point, Select Board is looking to us because we brought the topic to the Select Board.
Right.
And Noor is looking to us because we've been the ones pursuing the relationship.
Right.
So right now, we're in the crosshairs, but I don't know that we have to necessarily stay there. Linda?
He did say, Noor said, that what he would be looking for is one point person to attend meetings and to bring information back. He did say that in the select board meeting, and we will be hearing from, he's coming to talk to us, and I'd like it, I'd like it to be us, to listen to him, and then we are going to be informed. If we bring in other parties, it will change the dynamic, and,
yeah.
I don't want to do that. I want it to be us to listen and understand, and then we will form what needs
Brave
to
beast.
That
happen
makes sense.
next.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, it looks to me like I might be the point person. So the other suggestion that I was going to make to this about this group, but again, let's wait until we really hear from Noor, is that we might consider, taking turns, or that if there's something that's particularly relevant to one of us, we might attend a meeting. Whereas not just put it on one person. And the reason I say that is because I'm kind of on overload right now. But if all push comes to shove, I would be willing to be that point person.
Thank you, Susan. So let's hear what Noor has to tell us on the 3rd, and then we will proceed from there.
Okay.
Okay, everybody?
Sounds good. Yeah, we've got your back, Susan. You're not
Yeah.
going to be alone in this.
Yeah, there's no reason
you.
to feel like it's on you at this point, please.
Okay.
Yeah,
But can I just, this sort of add one last thing?
yeah.
And this is related to what Joanne was asking. All the other towns who are around us are now in the age-friendly and dementia-friendly community. You know, Wendell and New Salem and Leverett. And so all the Franklin County towns. And their COAs are, I mean, their village neighbors are all, I think, already involved. I got that impression from talking to Nancy Spittler.
Mhm.
But I don't know for sure. So I think, you know, there is the village neighbors, our village neighbors is definitely getting ready to move to act together with Asian Friendly.
Right, they may be in a different category, being an organization
Yes.
than a COA or town. So they
Well,
may
a
not be
good question to ask. This is Joanne, a good question to ask when we hear from Noor, you know.
Yep.
How the difference is between the COAs and the organizations like Village Neighbors.
Yes, and once we've heard from Nora, we'll know what we want to explore about the surrounding towns and their involvement and the relative involvement of village neighbors and COAs.
Okay.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
We've been learning.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Susan Millinger, very much. And so we've sort of, if Joanne is okay with it, I think we will, the survey is sort of on hold again until we get a sense of what the needs assessment bit is about.
Obviously, yeah.
And I know, Joanne, you've already touched upon where, you know, the grant,
Mhm.
you know, the status of the grant at this point. I don't know if you have anything else you want to say about that. And I know that I can personally say that I just today worked on my statistics. So I just want to remind us all to send Joanne.
Right.
Are we at that point? This is Jana speaking.
Joanne, to
Because
tell you- yeah.
Because I pulled my statistics together back in August, but we weren't ready to do anything with them. And I got an email just to me from Joanne a couple of weeks ago saying there was some kind of a form that she was going to send out to us that we could use.
Mhm.
And I haven't heard anything since then, and maybe we don't need it, but I just thought I'd remind her of that, if she knows what I'm talking about, because I don't really know what I'm talking about.
I think I just sent out the annual report, the blank annual report form, which is the same one that we had last year.
Oh, when did you send it?
A while
Oh.
ago.
A
Yeah.
while ago. Yeah,
Could you send
So-
it again, please?
I can.
Thank you.
But, so I've been emailing with Adam Frank, who's now the head of the MCOA. And
He's head of,
because there was no information, you know, about the annual report or the grant or anything. And he emailed back to me and said, you can use this form, which was last year's form, to gather the information, but he was trying to get an online thing up so that we could load it in online and not have to send paper copies around.
And
And
this,
I haven't heard anything about that having happened. So I'm assuming there's not a great amount of urgency.
what you wrote to me on the 20th September was that Adam Frank was getting an online version up so we don't have to do the paper copy.
Yeah.
And this is you speaking in your email to me when you were telling me how you were doing. I will send the attachment with the forms out soon so that you can all collect your own stats. Now, is that what you were just talking about, that you had sent out something that I missed?
Not something for you to personally collect your own stats, just what they were
Oh.
asking
Oh,
for
okay.
in the big annual report form, which is the same one that we did last
Okay,
year.
okay, so I got the two confused because you were
Yeah.
talking about this other thing that you were going to send out to us, and now I'm
No,
not.
it's just that same form that we did last year, which is, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I don't know what they report in their annual report. But it seems like some of the categories here are a little strange.
Right,
I mean, they're not something we can't answer these questions.
right.
Because we do not collect information on people's ages or their genders, or their race. So we can't answer a lot of the questions that are here.
Yeah, I remember that from last year. Yeah.
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 And as I said before, Marianne is helping me with the statistics from all of the fitness classes that we did last year with numbers of participants. And I did say, can you do a male versus female breakout? But there's nothing that we can do about the gender of other in quotation marks. And we don't ask people how old they are. So I know I looked at the Northampton Senior Council on Aging and the Senior Center there. And apparently the Senior Center has people join. So they fill out information questionnaires when they join. So they would have, if they're good computer people, they would have the statistics on age, and gender and that kind of thing. But we don't have any of that. So I'll either say not NA or I'll leave it blank because we just don't know.
Yeah.
With regard to race, it seems to me I saw somewhere maybe census figures for at least percentages of races in Shutesbury. I mean, even if we don't
But we
have,
don't know how many are participating in these programs.
no, but that we could at least give a sense of what the breakdown is in our town of different races.
But they want to know how many people we're specifically serving.
Right. And again, this is like many forms, this is meant to cover everybody. And so
Yeah.
much of it doesn't apply to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one question, Linda, for you. The in-kind donation part, which had us at, I think it was nearly $10,000 from Becky, for the use of facilities in the town hall. Do we still, since we weren't in the town hall, do we still do that or do we not?
The office space for Linda?
No, because I do the warrant paperwork for, when I do the invoice business, that's part of my job to do those. And no, I would say that we, for this year, all programs were virtual.
Right. Yeah.
So we can't really say.
Right.
that.
But we make use of the town Zoom account, yes?
Yeah, but
Okay, so let me be clear. The annual report does not affect the grant. Okay, these are two separate things.
Yeah.
The grant comes to the town. There is paperwork that goes to the select board and gets signed off on, but the grant is only affixed to the number of seniors in the town according to the census. The annual report is something that MCOA files with the Executive Office of Elder Affairs. So our filling out the grant form, the annual report form to the best of our ability does not affect our ability to get the grant.
right, that's a
So we just do the best we can, with the annual report. So do not please stress about your numbers of hours. Some people have, everybody gets an hour and a half for a monthly meeting, right? Susan Millinger does the minutes, and Janice sometimes too. Janice does a lot of writing for us and research for us. People have gone to different virtual conferences Sue Gomberg has done work with the foot clinic. So everyone has done some, some spread of hours. So if you can just, and what they're asking is for weekly hours of volunteer service. My inclination is to give everybody 1 hour a week of volunteer service. Because I think it would probably come out to that, by the time you do the minutes and the Our Town writing and the answering the telephone and the dealing with the foot clinic nurse and all that. That would be my inclination rather than have you all actually go and scratch up your hours.
Well, this is Janice. I'm still a little confused because I actually did scratch up my hours several months ago.
Okay,
And I'm not sure what I'm physically supposed to do with them.
you're supposed to give them to me.
But is there a form I'm supposed to put them on to give
No.
them to you, or just send you an email?
Just send me an email.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
And then I will either fill out the paper form and send it in or put it into the online one when they get that up and running.
See, that's where I got confused by that email you sent me, because I thought there was something that you wanted me to fill out, and
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't clear on that.
okay. Okay, I will find that thing. It's in this notebook. It's in
Okay.
front of me, and I'll send you an email.
So if everyone wants to send me their hours, that I will use that to fill out this form.
thank you, Joanne. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so it is 6:41 and we could take time now to talk about the webpage if you'd like, and I have one quick unanticipated item.
Mhm.
Why don't you do your unanticipated item and then we can spend the time we have left on the website?
Okay, so what this unanticipated item is that it's the annual request from the Shutesbury Finance Committee for our budget. And this is our $200 that we get from the budget each year. And of course, we didn't touch our $200.
Do we lose it?
Yeah, it goes back to the general fund. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it just goes back. We didn't, so it's not an accrual fund and, we have our grant. And so what they're asking is, what do we want? And I mean, the $200 has served us fine because our grant covers most of what we want. And when we had the $200, we used that for, well, when we were having luncheons, we would use it for miscellaneous things that we needed for luncheons, paper plates, etc. And we never really ran out.
And if we have events, then we would have some expenses connected with events, in-person events.
Those would be
Other-
grant relate, those would be grant funds.
Oh, would they? Even food?
Could be, yep,
Oh, wow.
yep. So it's more of, I mean, it's like paper product kind of things, that kind of stuff that we've used it for. At one point, we thought we had to use that to cover our MCOA dues, but David researched that and found that we could use grant funds for that. So, yeah. So that's it. It's really, $200 and we don't have any capital needs at this point in time.
Mhm. So is the issue telling them that we haven't used it for the last year?
No, the issue is this is for actually the FY20. We already have $200 right now in our expense line that we could use for something.
Right.
And this is for FY23.
Okay. So
Yeah.
keeping that amount in there.
Yes, staying the same.
Okay.
Yep. And if something came up and we had something else, we would go to them and ask them for some additional money if something came up that we needed that wasn't covered by the grant.
Mhm.
But Susan Gomberg, did you have something?
Nope, I'm just listening. Thank you.
Okay, I see your square lights up, and That's why I ask. Um,
My square lights up, my thoughts
Yeah.
come true.
yeah,
Yes,
your
yes.
Hollywood Square lights up.
When you speak, or maybe even if you breathe heavily, I don't know.
So, so at this point, I would like to recommend, I make a motion that we, maintain our expense line at $200.
Gray seconds.
Okay, roll call, any other discussion?
No.
Okay, roll call vote,
Bernhard, yes.
Gomberg, yes.
Gray, yes.
Millinger, yes.
and Scott, yes. Okay, thank you very much, and I'll take care of that too for us. Thanks, everybody. Now, website.
Well, if we want to talk about it, I went on it last week and spent a little bit of time fiddling around on the little bits of specifics we mentioned a couple of meetings ago of reducing the thing about fraud and trying to get more about vaccinations and life path. And the idea was that I thought the life path would have a lot of different links about COVID vaccinations and things, and they didn't. I mean, I was looking specifically for something about the boosters, and I guess because everything was so up in the air, they didn't really talk about it. They just sent people to the state, which was up in the air. And so there's not an awful lot that's changed on the website right now. But I did do a little bit of
Yeah.
tinkering.
Yes, thank you.
And I think I'll go look at it if anyone else wants to at the same time. Not as a screen share, but just I don't remember what I did either because I know. Oh, come on. I'm trying to get my cursor to click on Chrome and it's not behaving. Ah, sorry. There we go. All right. I don't know if people even want to do this now, so it's up to you.
I had some thoughts, Janice, and thank you for, first, thank you for working on the webpage. I liked that you put Life Path at the top. I was wondering if you might move what you have at the very bottom of the page about Life
Yeah,
Path
there is some redundancies. Yeah.
to the top, so Life Path is all in one place.
Well, that is a separate box kind of thing on the webpage. It's kind of hard to explain it. I mean, I could repeat it, but I can't just, I mean, I could cut and paste and move it and maybe delete it down there. I don't know if other people even know what I'm talking about if you don't have it in front of you. But that is a separate, I can't even really describe it in terms of, I'd have to log in as an editor and look at it again.
I see. Okay, so
I don't think that, and I thought about it at the time. I don't think repeating information is a bad thing.
okay,
So is at the beginning, there is a sort of a generalized thing about what LifePath does, which actually is pretty much taken from their website, offers a variety of supports, personal care meals, blah, 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 blah. Then down at the bottom, it says numerous individual and home community services. So there is some redundancy.
is it possible to just in the initial paragraph, can you put see below for more information or something?
Yeah, I could do that. See, I don't know about below. That's a little vague.
Well, I know, but see, I don't know. See info and resources. Oh, and so I see that that link, that first word of Life Path is actually
A link.
a link.
Yep.
Yep, a live link.
Can somebody screen share real quick?
Someone who knows how to screen share should do it quick because I
Okay,
don't,
hang on,
it'd take me a while to get it to work.
Hang on. I can do it. I just need to.
would take me
make
the
it
rest
work.
of this meeting time to figure out how to do it.
Not easy.
It's coming.
Yeah.
You got it?
No, just to notice that it's coming.
Oh, there we
There
go.
it is. Here it is.
Okay. All right. So there you go. I'm just going to scroll gently through so everybody can see. So this, where my cursor is, that's a live link. Is this a live link?
Yes, it should be. Yep.
Yeah.
Everywhere it's colored, it should be a live link.
Okay,
The Massachusetts Executive Office for Elder Affairs is also a live link.
great. So we've got those. And one thing I thought, Janice, I don't know if you can make this
Bigger.
a little larger.
I have to talk to Gail Fleischiker
Okay.
about this because I cannot understand. I've tried.
Oh, I bet you did. I want. Okay, and so then we have the services and upcoming events section with the mobile program, foot clinic, that Med Ride remains suspended, luncheon suspended, and then there's links to our issues of our Gazette, and then under here we have our Council on Aging bylaw, which we need to fix because we did update it to expand membership from 5 to 7. And then the info and resources, Village Neighbors and Life Path.
So this bottom part, the bottom life path is what Linda was saying that she wanted me to move up, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking that, but I understand.
Sure would make a lot of sense to do that. To me.
So then would the only thing under info and resources be Village Neighbors at this point?
Well, I mean, there are other things like, I'm sure we could come up with some other things like Senior Medicare Patrol about, fraud. The District Attorney's Office about, resources there for seniors. Those are just a couple of things that crossed my mind that I see come through.
There's also a size limit on how much I can put in there.
Right. I figured that.
I mean,
If
even
you-
adding more stuff to Village Neighbors, I had to take some stuff out because it was too long for the box.
For this section here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you add a little phrase about Village Neighbors that there's no membership cost? It's free. Membership is free.
I'll try.
Yeah, under information and resources, there could also be a link to the assessors
Oh, yes.
website about tax. What is it, Linda? Tax exemptions for
Yeah.
Excellent observation point.
I'm wondering, so the info and resources is more not town stuff. And it is, as I said, it's a very small box. The way the website's set up, so I can't add a lot of stuff. Would that be better served to go up higher?
Yeah,
Yes,
possibly, because it's an important thing that the town is doing,
You have the Board of Health here and
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
somewhere in
so
there
I-
where there's a lot of white space that could be used better, which is why I was trying to get those fonts to be larger.
And you
But-
couldn't? Wow.
Well, I don't want to go into this right now, but like when you go into the edit mode, there are different heading sizes, and some of them I could not get to go. I couldn't make them all bigger. Like how to be prepared. I tried to make it bigger.
Understood that you need to contact Gail about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question and I don't know if you can do this or if it's another question for Gail, but thinking about making more space in this area. could the newsletters be over here?
I
under
don't know.
edit?
We talked about that at one point, about using that space under the minutes.
Only if you want to, only if you want to do this, Janice, when you feel like exploring and talking with Gail. We're talking about Gail Fleischhaker, who's the chair of the web committee, and
Mhm.
fixes
Yeah, because the
things.
Amherst Survival Center, that's a smaller font than the,
Yeah, and I tried to make it bigger too.
yeah.
I mean, just aesthetically.
I know, it's maddening to me,
Yes.
believe me.
Yes, I know. Yeah. Yep. So,
And I've got a note to ask you about this bylaw thing.
yes. Yes, I'll have to find that. I will. So, okay. Anything else? Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, my cat just thinks it's time.
This is Gomberg. I have one short thing. Now, if we've done with the website, it's something different.
Are we good, everybody? Pete, no, stop that.
Thank you, Janice, for working on this, which
Yeah.
obviously has its many frustrations.
Mhm.
Yes, yes, thank you, Janice. I'm going to stop share now, okay?
Okay. I hope I got all of that.
Okay, well, just, we can talk, Janice, if you want.
I also have my insulin pump is beeping while all this time too.
Oh, do you want to?
Well, if the meeting is going to end, it's fine, but if we're going to
Yep,
keep
okay.
going, I need to go deal with it.
So, Susan Gomberg said something about something.
Yes, very quickly, under the a newsletter from MCOA, it says, I did a picture and it says MCOA brief. Towards the end of it, there is something that they are happy to provide us with copies of free personal health care journals to distribute. If there was a way we could get those when we're back in town hall, I'd be happy to pass them out. Or we could put a pile of them, whatever they look like, in the pile with the other brochures. That's all.
Gray says, I think we talked about this at one point.
Right, we did. Yeah. So, yeah.
Did we get
that?
them?
That was Senior Medicare Patrol people. Yep.
A
Yeah.
different thing then, sorry. Sounded familiar.
Yeah, that's the Senior Medicare Patrol people offer those. And, yeah, we could get some and have them. I don't know. Maybe we could table, is it okay, Susan G, if we put this on the agenda for November?
Sure, or just let it float around until we're back in town hall. That's it.
Yep. Okie dokie. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, are we ready? Ready to, yeah, ready to adjourn? Motion to adjourn, I
Yeah.
should say.
So moved.
Second,
Gomberg, second.
Okay, roll call.
Bernhard, aye.
Gomberg, aye.
Gray, aye.
Newlinger, aye.
And Scott, aye. Thank you, everybody, ever so much.
Thank you. Thanks, Joanne, for coming
Thanks.
back to us.
Good to see
Yes.
you.
Thank you,
Bob.
Joanne, all the way from where you are,
Yeah.
not Shutesbury. So good to have you, really good. Bye, everybody,
Bye.
thanks so
Goodbye.
much.
Thank you.
Good night.
night.
Bye-bye.